Hello everyone. So welcome to the video series of XCAN. So now let's jump into the practical challenge, which is the third module, Stylus Foundation. So let me give you a brief introduction of it, like what it is, and on the completion of it, what you will get. So basically, we will be interacting with a smart contract which has been deployed on the Arbitrum Sepolia testnet. So we will be building a contract. So as I already have built the contract and the UI for it, so you just need to take a clone of it, or if you don't want to take a clone of it, then also you can use the GitHub code specs which I have built, so that using which you can get a experience of how the contract development works in Stylus and how you can deploy the Stylus based Rust contract on Arbitrum Sepolia testnet, and after deploying it to Arbitrum Sepolia, how you can interact with the read and write functions of the smart contract. So that all will be covered in this Stylus Foundation challenge. So let me give you a quick introduction of the contract. So we have built a ERC20 smart contract in this. I will also give you information about ERC20 and ERC721 standards. So yeah, so the key features that includes in this challenge is ERC20 standard implementation, Rust contract development, ERC721 NFT standard, and interaction with Rust-based smart contract, which we will be deploying to Arbitrum Sepolia blockchain network. Let's jump into the challenge. So just click on the start learning and you will be redirected to this page, speedrunstylus.com/foundation. So this is the foundation challenge. So complete this challenge, then you will get your NFT certificate. So as I told that we will be building a ERC20 token system and we will mint the certificate once we are completing this. Okay. So uh, what we will be doing is this challenge is, as I told you, that we will be compiling and deploying our first Stylus-based ERC20 smart contract, which has been written in Rust, and then we will be interacting with this smart contract using the front end which we have created, so that you can directly test how the smart contract interaction works in the backend and from the front end also. Okay, so this is the first checkpoint. So these are the prerequisites. So don't worry if you don't have all of these prerequisites, because we have already included all of these prerequisites into one Docker image which I have hosted. So let me show you that part also. So come to this repo. Uh, Once coming to this repo, just click on the ERC20 branch, because our challenge is related to ERC20. Then as you can see that I have added one .dev container file, and then I have added one Docker image. So inside this Docker image, I have added already included all of these dependencies. So you don't need to install all of these dependencies one by one. You can then jump straight forward to this version requirement step. Okay, so what you have to do, just follow the steps which I will be telling you one by one. So just come to this repo, and we will be building our GitHub code specs, so that you don't need to install all the dependencies which has been listed under the challenge, and there, so that you don't need to perform the steps on your local VS Code also, because everything will be done on the cloud on the GitHub code spec side. So to make the process smoother and very easier, so just come to this branch ERC20 by clicking on this branch button, then simply click on the code button, and then click on this code specs button. Okay, so now we will have to create the core specs on this ERC20 branch, so that we can able to perform the testing of the our project at cloud level, so that you don't need to install the dependencies and you don't need to clone anything in your local VS Code. So before creating a core specs, first click on your GitHub account, then click on the setting, then come down and click to this billing and licensing tab, go to budget and alerts, then make sure that for the product GitHub core specs you have this as set as true, like stop usage when the limit is spent is set to yes, and make sure that this limit is set to $0. So it does mean that once this much of amount spent, you want to stop the usage of GitHub core specs. Okay, so make sure of this thing, because inside the billing and licensing tab, if you come inside the overview, you will get to know that for every month you will get this much of GitHub core specs space, 15 GB. It's around worth of $1.05. So moving forward, you have to scroll down and come to this code specs tab. Scroll down And make sure that inside the editor preferences, Visual Studio for the web is selected. So what it is doing is, once we are creating the code specs, Visual Studio Code for the web means at the cloud will be spin up, so that you don't need to clone anything in your local VS Code. What you need to do is just click on code, come to the second tab, code specs, click on this three dot, click on the first option, new with options. Then code specs will be created on ERC20 branch. 4-core CPU, make sure that here 4-core is selected, then click on create code specs. Then this process will take around 10 minutes to set up your code specs and to install all the dependencies which I have listed inside the Docker image, because that all dependencies will be installed one by one, and first that Docker image will also be pulled into your system at cloud. Okay, so this will take around 10 minutes. So just wait for 10 minutes, and meanwhile let me explain you the foundation challenge. So as we have seen that we have Arbitrum Nitro download. So suppose if you don't want to deploy your contract on Arbitrum Sepolia network to test your contract, and you want to test your contract locally, then you can use this script run -download run-download.sh. And let me explain you what this script is doing. So it is starting the local Nitro download in -dev, means development environment. It will start it at the port 8547 at your Docker terminal, and it will start it. It will clone this repo to clone the script for this to start the Arbitrum Nitro download. Just ignore this all things as it is not necessary as of now. Jump straight forward to here. So we are deploying the contract using the cargo stylus tool, and as we have started our local Nitro download on Docker at this 8547 port, at here 8547 port, so that now we can deploy our contract cargo stylus deploy, and this is our private key. Whenever we are running the command cargo stylus deploy, so lib.rs file will be deployed. Okay, so once you are deploying it, you will get your transaction hash and your contract address. Once you are deploying your contract, then we have to export the ABI using the command cargo stylus export ABI. Why? Because once we are deploying the contract, if you want to interact with the contract from front end, then we will require this export this ABI. So to generate that ABI, we have to run this ABI. So ABI is kind of the function signatures record at one place. Let me also show you what I mean by it. So as you can see that our setup has been done, installation has been completed. So let's do the quick version checking like this. So to ensure that everything has been installed, cargo stylus -1 version. As you can see, the latest stylus point version has been installed. If you run the command cargo stylus -1 version, and also it has been installed. You run curl, and also it has been installed. You run cast, then also everything has been installed. Okay, okay, so as you can see that everything has been installed. So just clear the terminal, and let me explain you the project structure which I have made. So as you can see, inside the packages folder we have two folder, Next.js and ERC20 folder. So ERC20 folder is responsible for all the backend and contract development and ABI generation part, and Next.js is the front end which has been integrated with the backend which has been written in Rust. So first let's open this ERC20 folder, and as you can see, this is the folder structure inside it. So we have to open this src file, and we will have three Rust contracts. First is erc20.rs, second is lib.rs, and third is main.rs. Okay, so lib.rs is our main function. So erc20.rs, let me explain you erc20.rs. Okay, so let me tell you what is the meaning of ERC20 standard. So in blockchain and Web3 ecosystem, every token you are seeing that are being written by following the standard like ERC20 or ERC721. Means there are some standards which everyone have to follow to launch their own token. Okay, so if you want to launch your own token also, then you need to follow this ERC20 standard which are listed here. So let me explain you that all standards one by one. So for that, this is the standard where you have to define the token name that you want to deploy to the blockchain, the symbol of the token, the number of decimals for the token, the number of supplies, balance of transfer, and transfer from function. These all are the standard, and let me explain you all the standards one by one. So this is the first standard. So you have to define your token's name which you want to deploy to a blockchain. Okay, And for example, we are deploying a contract, deploying a ERC20 token named Stylus token. So the name of the token will be Stylus token. Then we have to define the symbol, and here we have defined the symbol STK. As you can see, we have defined the name Stylus token, which we want to deploy on the public blockchain. Then the symbol of it is STK. Then we have to pass the number of decimals. Then we have to pass the total supply. Total supply means how many maximum number of that token will be circulated. So this is the total supply. Then we can get the balance of function, where we have to pass the public address of any users. For example, if you want to check the balance of Stylus token to your friends or your own address, then you have to pass your address, or for the person of, or the address of the person whom balance of the Stylus token you want to get. Okay, so then is the transfer function, where you can pass the address, and as you can see, this transfer function will transfer the amount from the caller's address to another address. Means we are the person who is calling this transfer function, this much amount of token which that person is passing, that will be passed to the person which that person wants to send. Okay, so this is will be sent from the person who is calling this function. So that much amount of token will be passed to another address which that person wants to. And another standard is transfer from. In the transfer from, we have from address and to address. From which address we want to transfer to another address this much token. So it's like from this address we want to transfer this much amount of token to another address. So that is different from transfer function, because in transfer function, the person who is calling, from that person's account, the token will be sent to another address. Approve means if you want to transfer some amount to another person's account, and if you also, or if you want to transfer tokens from your account to any other another contract, then you first have to give the approval. Like I am giving the authority to that another person to transfer this much of account from my wallet. So that's a kind of approval. So then comes to allowance. Allowance means suppose there are two person called A and person B. Now suppose person A holds 10 Stylus token, this 10 Stylus token, and now suppose person A wants to give allowance to person B up to 5 tokens. Then what does it mean is person B can spend up to 5 token on behalf of person A, because person A has given the 5 tokens allowance to person B. Okay, so yeah, this is the standard for the ERC20 standard, and that standard we are following in our main lib.rs contract. As you can see, this is we have defined some parameters, and then we are using this function, 3 functions: mint, mint2, and burn. So let me give you a quick overview of this function. Mint means we are creating a new token onto our address. For example, supply is 100, and we want to create 10 token out of that 100 supply to your wallet. Then you can use the mint function, where you have to pass the value, and that much of tokens will be minted to the sender. Message.sender means the person who is calling this mint method. And then you can also mint some tokens to another address. For example, out of 100 you have minted 10 token, and now you want that you want to mint another 10 token to your friend's account. Then you can use this mint2 function, where you can pass the address. Address means this kind of public address. Open your MetaMask, click on this 3 dot, click on the addresses. This is the address, so you can use that to mint to another person's wallet. And burn means to remove or destroy the token from your account. For example, you have minted 10 token, right? Now you don't want 5 token from it, then you can use burn function. Here you can use this burn function. Okay, so this is all the information regarding the contract. So what happens is we want to deploy this lib.rs contract to Arbitrum Sepolia network, and for that purpose we have already created one .sh file. If you remember, then we also have one file in every challenge is called run-dev-node.sh. So what this do is, this was deploying your contract on local NitroDAO node, so that every transaction can be visible on your local terminal. But here we are deploying the contract on Arbitrum Sepolia blockchain network. So this is the script for it. So let me explain you this script. So as you can see, this is the RPC URL, means the blockchain network where we want to deploy our contract. Okay, so this is the RPC URL of it. And then to deploy the contract, as I have told you, that you will need some fund. So here we are adding using our own private key. Here we were using the pre-funded accounts private key. But to deploy the contract on Arbitrum Sepolia, as we are deploying the contract on Arbitrum Sepolia blockchain, here we have to pass our private key in the ENV. Okay, so we need to pass our private key. Once we are adding our private key, then we are running the command cargo stylus deploy. And before doing that, before doing that, we are checking the connection to Arbitrum Sepolia network. We are connecting to Arbitrum Sepolia first, and then we are deploying the contract. Once the contract has been deployed, we will get the deployment transaction hash and the contract address. And once that both thing has been done, we have to simply export the ABI, which we already have done. Let me show you the ABI also. So as you can see, this is the ABI which I already have exported. So this is the how the ABI will looks like. So as you remember, so if you remember, I already told that if we want to interact with the contract that is deployed on either Sepolia or mainnet, then we will require a RPC URL, private key of the user which wants to call the contract, and the ABI of the contract and the contract address where the contract has been deployed. So we will need RPC URL where the contract has been deployed, contract address to which we want to interact, the ABI of the contract. ABI will hold the function signatures, like which function we want to call. Okay, and then we will need a private key for the person who wants to call the contract. Okay, so this is the as you can see, we have defined this name symbol. This is the ERC20 standard interface, and these are the three functions from lib.rs, as we will be interacting with either of this function using our UI. So this is the ERC20 standard which we have explained, and this is the event that will be emitted. So at the moment you are transferring the funds to any other user, or at the moment you are approving the tokens, then this event will be emitted. So events are nothing, it's like a record that will be stored to blockchain so that you can get the data using the events. Okay, if you are using the index parameter, means event will be indexed and you can get the data. You can use up to 3 index parameters. For example, here we have used 2 index parameter. It will cost you higher gas cost because this will be tracked on blockchain network. So that's how event works, and these are the errors. For example, if you don't have sufficient balance or allowance, then you can't transfer it to anyone else. Okay, so this is our main function. So this is our main component called debug contract.tsx, from where we are interacting with the contract which has been written in Rust and which has been deployed to Arbitrum Sepolia testnet. So as you can see that we will need the contract address where the contract has been deployed. Then we will need the RPC URL where the contract has been deployed. Then we will have to create the signer using the private key. Means this signer means this user wants to interact with the contract deployed at Arbitrum Sepolia, which has been stored at this address. And then we are creating an instance of contract. As you can see, we have to pass the contract address. Then we have to pass the ABI. As I have already told that we have to pass the ABI. Then this is our signer, which uses the provider, like where we have deployed our contract, and our private key, like who wants to interact with the contract. Once we have this contract instance, we can call the read and write functions of the smart contract, which we have defined inside the lib.rs file here. So now we will be able to interact with these 3 functions from our UI. Understood? And this is the UI to interact with that 3 functions. So let me give you a brief overview of what we have to do next. So as we have already checked the versions. Okay, so this is the first step. To deploy a contract, you will need a private key, right? Okay, so we will have to add the private key inside this folder called packages erc20.env. So just close all the files using this. Go to packages erc20 and then create .env inside it using this new file icon .env. Make sure to follow the same spelling and the cases of the letter. You can't write private key in lower cases and you can't add like this. So make sure it should be same as this, because that variable has been used into this script, right? Here we are reading that variable to deploy our contract, as you can see, private key. Okay, so make sure to not share this private key with anyone else, because this private key, if anyone else have the access of your private key, then that person can access your funds which you have at any chain, on testnet also and on mainnet also. So please make sure to not share your private key with anyone. I also won't be sharing my private key here. So just enter your private key here. Make sure to add 0x prefix and then paste your private key here, which you have copied from your MetaMask. Follow the next folder because we have to add at 2 locations. For the front end, we have to go to packages Next.js. Okay. Here also place your private key with 0x prefix. We are now on the verge of deploying the smart contract. Okay. So as I already told that to deploy the smart contract, you will need some ETH. So we are deploying the smart contract on Arbitrum Sepolia testnet. So on testnet, real money won't be required, but still kind of duplicate money is still required. Means you still require some ETH token to your wallet so that you can deploy your contract. So which you can get from the link faucet.lamprosDAO.com to get some Sepolia ETH so that you can deploy the contract on Arbitrum Sepolia testnet. So make sure that this is not the real money. So you can claim 0.01 ETH after every 24 hours. So just connect your wallet. Once you have connected with your wallet, just scan this QR code, join into our Telegram group, and then you will be able to claim your faucet. As I have already joined, so now I will be able to click on the next. Then just claim your 0.001 ETH. Complete the CAPTCHA verification and simply click on claim 0.01 ETH button. It will take some time. And yeah, as you can see, 0.0 I have claimed 0.01 ETH in my wallet. So now I can deploy my Rust contract on Arbitrum Sepolia, and now I can be able to interact with it. Okay. So moving forward, now we can deploy the contract. So go to this file, just collapse all file, go to ERC20. So open your terminal, go to cd packages, then go to ERC20, then we will have to run this script. We can run this script using bash command. Bash, we have to pass run Sepolia deploy, and make sure of one thing, that we are using the GitHub code specs, so it is using the Linux OS. So if you are using Windows or Mac OS also, then also you can perform this challenge, because everything is on the cloud and on the GitHub server, so which is running on the Linux OS. So on every system it works fine. Okay, just run the script, run Sepolia deploy, and then what it will do is, I have already explained you, it will first connect to Arbitrum Sepolia, then it will check that you have added your private key or not, then it will, after connecting to Arbitrum Sepolia, it will deploy your contract. Once your contract has been deployed, you will get your transaction hash and your contract address. Once we will get the contract address, then we will have to add that contract address here. Why? Because as I already told, that we have to pass the contract address to whom we want to interact with. As we have deployed the new contract, which is currently being deploying using the cargo stylus, so now we have to change that contract address here. Okay, so that step has been also mentioned here. Update the contract address at this file. If you are unable to find the file, just click on Control plus P, then just write debug contract and just press enter. So this will take around 2 to 3 minutes to deploy your contract, and you will also get the transaction hash once your contract has been deployed. Using that transaction hash, you can track that the transaction has been actually done or not on the actual Arbitrum Sepolia blockchain network. So the contract is being deployed. Meanwhile, let me tell you that after the end of this challenge, you will have to submit this challenge at the module site to get your NFT certification. And if you want to submit the challenge, then you have to push this all code to your GitHub repo. And to push the code to your GitHub repo, you will need your GitHub pet token. So I will also walk you through how you can create your pet token. So yeah, as you can see, the contract has been deployed successfully. This is the transaction hash of the contract. This is the contract address. So let's first change the contract. Make sure to use Control Shift C to copy and Control Shift V to paste for Windows user. So let's track the transaction on Sepolia blockchain, Arbitrum Sepolia blockchain. Yeah. So as you can see, this is the official Arbitrum Sepolia blockchain network, and using the transaction hash we got from the terminal, we are tracking the transaction 52 seconds ago. As you can see, November 5. This is the my wallet address. So we have interacted with this contract starting from 0xA3B as I have deployed this contract. So from address is mine. This is the time. This is the block at which my transaction has been done. So yeah, this as you can see, our contract has been deployed. This is my wallet address. Okay. So after adding the contract address, now we have added our contract address. So now we will be able to interact with this contract via our UI. So go to the steps, go to the packages Next.js directory and run yarn dev. First collapse the folder. Ls. Just open the new terminal by clicking on this plus icon. Run ls, go to packages, ls, go to Next.js and run yarn dev. And then you have to click on this link. Your application is running on port 3000 is available. So just click on open in browser. Once you click on open it in browser, So let me give you a quick overview of the UI which we have created. So this is on the right hand side, this is my connected wallet address. So this is the wallet address of the private key which I have added in the env. This is my balance, and on the this is the home page. On the debug contract page, you will be able to interact with the Rust smart contract which we had deployed on Arbitrum Sepolia. Yeah. So yeah, as you can see, this is the stylus token name and this is the symbol which we have given in the Rust contract. So it has fetched from this contract. Okay, so the initial supply will be 0 because we haven't passed the supply using the constructor in the contract. So initial supply will be 0. So once we are minting the token to our wallet address, the total supply will be increased. So as you can see, this is the my wallet address. So if I want to suppose mint 10 token of stylus token to my wallet address, then just click on enter 10 and click on mint token, and then it will be minting the tokens on Arbitrum Sepolia blockchain. So as you can see that I have minted a token, means I have used this mint function and I have passed the value, and that much of token will be sent to the sender who is calling the function, right? So I have called this function, so that have been added to my account. Just refresh the page and you will see that the total supply will be also increased by 10, minting 5 tokens again. Then your token balance will be 15. If you are going to the block explorer page, then you will be able to see the recent transaction that you have done. For example, we have mint 5 token, right? So that we can also see on the official RBScan blockchain that how much token we have minted. So let's open up the transaction. So as you can see, the transfer of 5 STK, this is the symbol stylus token, and this is the in bracket is the contract address of that token which we have deployed, and that was the ERC20. We have deployed 5 token, we have transferred the 5 token to this address. This is the mine address. Okay, so this much of token, as you can see, this much of token has 5 token of ERC20. As you can see, that was ERC20. It has already identified that this is the ERC20 standard contract. We are transferring 5 tokens to my address. So this is the transaction for that. So now comes to the debug contract again. As you can see, total supply has been increased. Okay, so if you want to mint to any other your friends wallet, then you can enter your friend's wallet address here and mint the amount and click on mint to address. Then this function will be called mint to function. Okay, so this is the approve function. So for example, if you want to check that how much token your friend does have, right? For example, this address, let me check the allowance. So as you can see, allowance for this token is 0 token. And now what if I am approving this address to, for example, I want to give the approval of 2 token out of the 15 token I have. Click on approve button, so that now this wallet address will also have the approval for the 2 tokens. So if you are now clicking on check allowance, now it will give you 2 tokens, means now this address owner holds 2 stylus token which has been sent by me. Okay, if you are going to block explorer, then you will see that this approve function. Let's open up that function. Now as you can see, 2 token has been approved to this address by this address. This is mine address, this is also mine address, but it is another address. So means I have transfer, means given the approval of this address that you can use 2 token on behalf of me because I have given the approval. Understood? Okay, going to debug contract again. Now if you want to burn some token, for example, I have 15 tokens, I want to burn my 5 tokens, for example, then click on burn tokens, then I will have 10 token only now. 10 token. Click on block explorer. Amount has been burned. So now 5 tokens will be less from my account. So that account is sent to 0 address. 0 address means now no one owns that 5 token of ERC stylus token. So now no one owns it. Okay. Okay. So that token will be also removed from the supply. Okay. Okay. So this is what overall project which we have built. We have seen that how to create a ERC20 standard Rust smart contract. We have seen how to deploy it on official Arbitrum Sepolia blockchain, and we have also seen how to integrate with the contract from the UI, as we will need the contract address, the ABI, and your private key. And we have also seen how you can get the ABI using the cargo stylus export ABI command, as it will require to interact with your contract from front end. And then we have also interacted with the contract using the front end, and we have also seen all the transaction live on the Arbitrum Sepolia blockchain. Okay, so just come here, clear the terminal. Make sure to copy this contract address anywhere in your notepad or anywhere else, because this will be required while you are submitting your project, or you can also get it from here also. Clear the terminal, and now we want to push the code to GitHub repo as we have to submit it. Okay, go to repositories, click on new, make sure to make the repo public. Stylus Foundation Challenge. Add description if you want. Create repository. Yeah, after creating the repository, first let's get the GitHub paid token. Click on this icon, go to setting, scroll down, go to last step, developer setting, choose last option, personal access token, go to second option, token classic. As I told you that we will have to create a GitHub paid token to push our code from this terminal to our repo, because that repo we will have to submit to get your NFT certificate. Click on the generate new token, click on the second option, generate new token classic, give it any note, set expiration time if you want, or you can set it to no expiration also. After expiration, make sure that you won't be able to use it to push your code to your repo. Make sure to click all this check. Just click on the first main check, and then all sub checks will be checked automatically. And then please make sure to copy your token and save it anywhere on your notepad, because you won't be able to see it again from your GitHub UI. If you haven't copied this, then you have to generate a new token again. So please make sure to copy it anywhere on your notepad. So now we will have to push the code. So run the command git remote -v, run the command git status. As we have changed the modified the contract addresses, this file we have to add it in our staging area. Run the command git add dot, run the command git commit -m, enter your commit message like completed foundation challenge, hit enter. It will take some time. It is checking that you have not done any mistake in your code. So now we will have to add our remote origin of this repo, as we want to push all this code to here. So the address of this repo is this origin. So we have to set this origin with the pet token. I am repeating it again. We have to copy this command first. Copy this, only copy this command. Copy this. Before pasting it, make sure we have to add the pet token before this github.com. Okay, before this github.com, add @ symbol, and then before @ add your GitHub pet token here, like this. So the complete URL will be like looking like this: git remote add origin, then your pet token, then @, then github.com, and then your repos URL where it is existing. Copy it, then copy it by pressing Ctrl+Shift+V. Okay, after adding it, check it again using git remote -v. It has been set. Then simply run the command git push origin ERC20, because we are on the ERC20 branch. Hit enter. Yeah, done. As you can see, come here and refresh the page. We have completed our challenge. We have pushed the code. We have completed foundation challenge. So now we will have to submit this repo to modules.xkn.dev website to claim your NFT certification. So now you will have to submit the challenge. So copy this link, come to this foundation challenge, click on submit challenge button, add your GitHub repository. Make sure you don't have .git at the end. If you have .git at the end like this, remove it. Then this is optional, so forget about it. Enter your deployed contract address. You can get it from here also. This is contract address. Paste it, submit it. Once you are submitting your challenge, as you can see, foundation challenge submitted successfully. Come to the modules.xkn.dev website, come to this leaderboard part, and as you can see, you will be able to see your submission on November 5. This is my submission. As you can see, this is my submission. Click on it and you will be redirected to the GitHub repo which you had submitted from Speedrun Stylus site. Okay, so yeah, this is the total submission. This is my wallet address. This is my GitHub repo. This is my contract address, and this is when I submitted it. So once you have submitted, now you will be able to claim your NFT certification. Once you have submitted your code, published your repo, and you have seen your rank in the leaderboard, come to this NFT page, scroll down, go to Stylus Foundation. Then you will be able to claim NFT. Click on claim NFT, enter the promo code, and click on mint. Click on confirm. NFTs mint has been successful. And then you can download the PDF version of your certificate as you have completed the Stylus Foundation Challenge. Yeah, so you can download the PDF, and below is the image of the NFTs which has been minted to your wallet address. You can also see on the official Arbitrum Sepolia blockchain. As you can see, the mint of one. So make sure that this is the ERC721 NFT. The one which we have seen was ERC20. This is the ERC721. Yes, has been sent to my wallet address. So let's check on my wallet address that I got it or not. Yeah, so as you can see, on clicking on the NFT tab, I got Stylus Foundation NFT. And by any chance, if you don't get this NFT and you want to be able to see the NFT in your UI, then you have to follow these steps. Open your wallet. Make sure that you are on the address which is mentioned here, means by which you have connected and by which you have claimed your NFT from module side. So click on addresses. So yeah, this is the both are same addresses. Okay, make sure both are same addresses. Yeah, both are same. So open your wallet, go to NFT section, click on this three dot, click on the import NFT button. Address of the ERC721 NFT. So which that is this address starting from 8F5. This address 8F5. So you have to enter that address, and that was on Arbitrum Sepolia blockchain. Arbitrum Sepolia blockchain. Token ID is this 301. Token ID is 301. Click on that, then click on import. Click on import, and then once you click on import, that NFT was successfully added. Okay, NFT will be added to your wallet if you want to be able to see it directly. Okay, so you can come to this transaction tab from this button, view on RBScan. Okay, so now we have completed the third module, which is Stylus Foundation Challenge, and we have looked into the ERC20, ERC721 standard, how you can mint your NFT, what is the Arbitrum Sepolia blockchain explorer, how you can see your transactions there. We have also seen the smart contract development in Rust. We have also seen what is the ABI, how you can create a contract instance to interact with the smart contract developed in Rust. So yeah, if you have any doubt, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you everyone.